Hi there. Thanks for tuning in to Make This Happen, where we discuss an idea we've been dying to see come alive. Every week, my friend Alexander Gonzalez and myself, Jay Yee, will bring you a product you never knew you needed. Now let's talk about zippers. What's the worst thing about zippers, you would say, Alex? What do you hate about zippers the most?
I'll tell you my thing that I hate about zippers is when your zipper gets damaged or you get stuck at the bottom of the zipper and you can't zip it up. Now, do I want to zip up my clothes all the time? No. But once I lose the option, that's all I can think about. Or if it gets stuck, or it gets stuck at the top and you try to do it and it doesn't work out. So then the zipper from the bottom separates and then you have just a disaster, an utter disaster where it's split at the bottom and you have a functional jacket, but it's no longer stylish.
See, I think that's what bothers me now that you mention it, because I forgot that zippers do this, because I think this only happens to shitty clothes or clothes that you've washed way too many times. But yeah, when you start zipping it up, and then throughout the day, you notice, like in the middle, oh, it started unzipping. And then now you have just a hole in the middle of your zipper where the top two parts are still zipped. And then you just have this hole. And then if you touch it, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then the bigger it gets, the harder it is to fix. And maybe it's not even worth fixing at that point, you know?
And nothing makes you feel like a child more as you're trying to figure out what's wrong with your zipper. And then if you try to zip it too fast, all of a sudden a piece of fabric will be caught in the zipper. But because you're 30 years old and you have the strength of a full-grown man, you didn't realize it when it first started. So you're way too high up on this jacket.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to pull it down, but you have to use almost 10 times the force necessary to pull it up while also feeling the fabric almost breaking. And you're like, what do I do?
Yeah. But all that being said, another very unsatisfactory thing about zippers is they just hurt. They're pointy. They're spiky. They're cold. I don't like, sometimes I don't really
like. You know what?
What's up?
Another one for me is, I don't know if this has happened to you, but if a zipper gets too close to your beard, it'll straight up yank out hairs.
No, that does not happen to me. I don't have that problem.
So I've had zippers, you know what I'm talking about, where if you're wearing like a fitness apparel gear, you can zip it all the way up to your neck. Yeah. And then if you have hairs here at the bottom and like
that sounds awful.
It's moving, it's awful. Awful, Jay. And it just starts ripping out hairs. And it's like an experience that you can't communicate to anybody because, again, you're an adult. So as it happens, your eyes just like get wide and then you have to just like let it go and not tell anybody what's just going on.
I mean, I guess I just don't zip things up that high, and I also just don't have the facial hair for that, you know? Like, I don't have anything underneath my neck. It's just right on my chin, right underneath my lip, and then right above my lip. That's all I got.
If you can tell from these episodes, I have clothing problems. I don't think clothing was designed with me in mind. I have no idea what's going on with fashion.
Yeah. So maybe these zippers will help. Yeah, all of these problems, not all of them, but most of them will get solved by this new zipper. Now, this is looking into our personal hobbies a little too much, but in a certain recreational item that we like to indulge in, sometimes they come in a pack with a little childproof Ziploc on the top, right? And you gotta rub your hands together, squeeze them really hard, and then like move them on the side, and then it like unlocks it, and then you could rip open this little zipper.
For sure, there's a process. For sure.
Yeah. So we could streamline that, obviously, for clothes, but that's essentially the idea: is make this super strong, childproof Ziploc lock. But my idea is, you know, where the two zippers meet, that little initial point. It'll be like
where you have to insert it into the base.
Yeah, it'll be like that for this little plastic thing, but then you insert like this plastic tab into this other plastic tab, and then there'll be like this rubber or metal or whatever you want, the actual like zipper portion, and you zip it up, and it's literally just that child-proof lock Ziploc mechanism that's what you're zipping up. And when you do it, there's probably like a pressure thing at the top, and then you just press that, and it releases it all, and then you could just rip it all off. You know what I mean? What do you think?
I'm cool with that. Or yeah, like having some kind of pressure where you squeeze and pull down. But if you don't squeeze, it will not go down. And it's so attached that it's almost like insulated where
Yeah, exactly.
you're
That's another problem with zippers. Like wind gets through.
absolutely. And it gets cold
Yeah.
and it gets hot.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
you
yeah.
leave,
It gets very hot.
if you
take
leave
it
a
out
jacket
of a
in your,
drying machine.
yeah, if you take it out of a drying machine or you leave it out in your car in the summer and you'll get branded. You'll get branded
Yeah.
by the zipper. So if we could have some type of technology where it's like, I don't want to say plastic, but I don't want to say exactly metal either, but something where the heat isn't retained, like there's a different kind of heat sink going on there, we can definitely do something like that. And even have a fabric where who has to see the zipper?
Exactly.
Why not have a fabric that like you then have a button that goes over it?
So I mean, you don't even need that. I think this. I mean, you've tried to opening those child-safe locks with just pure strength. It doesn't open. You have to do the little rubby thing, which you aren't going to sit there trying to rub off your sweater. It's going to have a mechanism that unlocks it. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be something. But I think
it's even worse when you like try to pierce the child-proof lock, where instead you just grab a knife and stab in the middle. You're
I've
like,
done that
who cares?
bunch too. But I think one part of the fabric is going to be slightly thicker, as if when you get clothes that have hidden buttons or a hidden zipper, it is a little bit thicker there. You know what I mean, to hide it.
Right. Yeah.
We'll have that thicker part, and that's where you insert the whatever, the plastic or silicone or whatever the rubber deal, and then you just zip it right up. It's not even gonna make a sound because it's just gonna be these two rubber things locking into each other. And then you just zip that all up, and it's gonna be super secure. You don't have to do the extra button. You don't have to do anything because it's just fabric locking into each other.
You know what? This is a great idea for vacations and places where there's pickpockets. If we add these zippers to like pants and stuff,
like actual
you can
pockets.
leave your you can have a security pocket where you put your wallet in. So if like a pickpocket tried to get at your wallet, they'd have to like use two hands and tug on you with such force that you would be able to know right away. And if you were walking, they couldn't do. I mean, maybe this would become a whole new level of pickpocketing where maybe they would figure it out, but I think this would stall and make you a little bit more secure.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like, think about zippers on clothes and even zippers on just random, like this. You could put these zippers just on anything, right? It could be a backpack, it could be whatever. But like, when like you buy pants that have the stupid zipper on the back, or you buy pants with the Velcro and shit, it hurts to put your hand in and out of that thing. You know what I mean? Like it hurts to put, especially if it's made a zipper. I don't put anything in a zippered pocket because it hurts to get my hand in and out.
It's almost like your hand ends up getting chafed on the bottom end of it, where like you have to get in and out. So I agree, it has to be brushed or something like that, because eventually, as it keeps rubbing, you're gonna get irritated.
Yeah, and so I think with this, it's not only gonna make that a lot not as painful or irritating to put your hand in and out of those type of pockets, but it'll just look sleeker. Like if it's just this button down thing instead of this metal object or a Velcro patch that you could see where they sewed on the square of Velcro, you know what I mean? Or like buttons, you could see the individual where they have the rivets and buttons and shit. It'll just be this tiny little strip hidden inside a little bit thicker fabric, and just gonna look super sleek. You're gonna look like a fucking Tron futuristic character with like no buttons or zippers or anything, that is gonna be the one negative. It is gonna change fashion, where when everyone's zipped up in these, it's just gonna look like everyone's wearing onesies because it's just fabric over fabric. So that's the problem with that. It's just everyone's just wearing these onesie looking things.
That's when you can add like different stylistic flares if you want.
I think the fashion people could take it and make it look better, But at first, everyone's just going to look like they are wearing the costumes from My Hero Academia. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think it'll solve a lot of problems with zippers where zippers are just annoying.
I think so as well. And I think we should move away from metal too, because we can make these TSA approved.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think they're going to be metal in the first place. Like, I assume they'll be like rubber or like, I don't even know how they work. Like, I've looked and inspected a child-proof Ziploc before. I don't know how they do it. Like, I'm like, it just looks like a Ziploc.
Yeah, I guess you're right. And there's some childproof that I'm like, this is easy and a child can open it. And then there's some where I'm like, this is adult proof.
Yeah, the ones where I have to cut open, I'm just like, I've rubbed my hands together multiple times over this fucking plastic bag. I can't open this thing. Let's just take a scissor to it. That's why you're not rubbing your clothes. Like I said, I think it's going to be like this cool, like quick release, like little rubber tab, and you just flick it and it just opens up, and you just kind of like have to tear it apart a little bit, you know?
Okay.
And then like, it'll be like Superman. It would just rip it open, you know? I think
it like
cool.
releases the pressure, which then disengages all of the zip.
Exactly. I think it's a great idea. I think.
Yeah, zippers suck.
It'll change the way fashion looks, you know?
What if also for the chunksters out there, including myself, you have we create the first zipper that has give. So instead of having to like unbutton or unzip your clothing, your zipper will actually expand a little bit and give you the opportunity. Because I don't know if you've ever done this, but I've burst through a zipper. Where all of a sudden
I've never burst through a zipper. I've definitely burst buttons off my pants before. I sat down, button off.
Right. So I would want the zipper to have just a little give. It doesn't have to have the most give, but we'll call it forgiveness.
Sure. For the big people and big busted women out there, stretchy zippers that zip, or zippers that stretch.
Zippers that give.
Sure. Give, I guess. I mean, if they're made out of plastic or rubber, super easy to do. You know what I mean? Especially rubber. Rubber is elastic, you know? All right. Well, I don't know. Who's fashion forward in terms of making fashion unique and changing it all the time and making new materials and shit?
Bear with me here. I don't think that we should do fashion forward.
What are you eating?
I think
I
think it should be Tesla.
Sure.
Because that would be the kind of cult and the kind of people who
will wear
would be like, yeah, because they don't care. Like, they don't care about how it looks, but mostly about
that some smart guy made it and there has to be a reason for it.
And honestly, so what, honestly, I'll let you know at the credits what I had put in my mouth.
Sure. I like it. Let's go with Tesla. Make this happen. Thanks for listening. If you have any suggestions or products you'd like to see talked about, feel free to write in at @poundgames@gmail.com. We have a Patreon. If you'd like to join the @pound family, come find us at patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. Patrons receive episodes 2 days early, meaning Make This Happen gets to your ears that much sooner. If you enjoyed our show, take a second to give us a review. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Store, and more. Catch you guys next Sunday with Alex's idea.
Beverage containers.
I feel like you've done something similar to this, but we shall see next week.
Oh, I did a mug.
You did like a coffee, all-purpose coffee mug that does a lot of different stuff. And then you also did like a carbonation choosing can thing where you could choose how bubbly your drink is.
You know, I think let's do staplers.
Let's do staplers next week.
And for all of you who stuck around, it was a candy cane. I was just going to give my idea. I didn't realize I was going to give that much feedback. And the candy cane was small enough that I thought I was going to be able to talk normally. But
is it a regular peppermint candy cane, or is it like those mint chocolate ones? Or is it like
God, no, not even anything like that.
The orange and cream? Is it the
like
cherry?
Nerds and like Sour Patch or one of those.
Oh, it's one of those. It's the sweet tart ones.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
A little bit more interesting, because like with mint, I like mint, but something happens there.
The chocolate is gross, is what it is. They don't use good tasting chocolate. They use shit chocolate that tastes like, you know what it tastes like? You ever had those breath mints that are chocolate flavored, that are like minty chocolate mints?
Exactly. And then on top of that, it leaves a different texture in your mouth that's almost gritty.
Yeah.
Where they use like Bisquick not Bisquick, Nesquik.
That being said, those little circular mint things that you get after your meal at like an Olive Garden, not like an Olive Garden, but like at like a Denny's or something, those little chocolate mint ones there, I'll eat those.
I'll eat all of them because I do. It's free, and I don't know why I look forward to it. I'm just like a little bit of sugar here, but
you'll even enjoy like the nasty, like unlabeled, like just like it's like a candy ball, and it looks like it's been sitting there for like 15 years, and you have no idea what it is because there's no label on it.
I'll pop that into my mouth, and you're right. You don't know if it's lime, you don't know if it's spearmint, you don't know if it's mint, you don't know if it's chocolate mint.
Just
you just
sugar.
pop it in and hope, you just
Colored
hope
sugar.
for the best. Mm-hmm.
Restaurant candy.